characters. To find characters, we're going to look for words that tell about a person, an animal, or thing that does things by itself. What do I look for whenever I look for character?
A person, an animal, or thing that does things by itself.
Excellent. I'm going to read this paragraph and I'm going to look for characters. A character is a person, an animal, or thing that does things by itself. I'm going to read the paragraph and find any characters that might be in this paragraph. Eric rang his grandparents' doorbell and silently wished the next 4 hours would go by quickly. He didn't want to give up his entire Saturday afternoon at his grandparents' house where there were no kids in the neighborhood. You're right on time, Grandma Bethany said, opening the door. There's tea and cake in the dining room. Cake? At least the first 10 minutes would go by quickly. Eric hung his coat on the rack by the door and saw a strange-looking key hanging on a hook. Grandpa Bill, what's this funny key for? That's a skeleton key. It opens the best room in this house, Grandpa Bill whispered so that no one could hear. It's the room I go to when your grandmother tries to make me help with the dishes. Now, I need to find out if there are any characters in this story. Are there words that I can find that name a person, an animal, or thing that does things by itself? Yes, there are words. Eric is one of those words. And Eric rang the doorbell. Eric also talks with his grandmother. He hung his coat up. That's another thing that he does by himself. So there are several things that Eric does. So I know for sure that he's a character. He's a person that does things by himself. Grandma Bethany is also a character because Grandma Bethany spoke as well. Grandma Bethany said. So that shows that she does things by herself. And then Grandpa Bill also is a character because Grandpa Bill whispered. So he did something by himself. So there are 3 characters in this story. There's Eric, Grandma Bethany, and Grandpa Bill. A character is a person, an animal, or a thing that does things by itself. What does a character do? It's a person, an animal, or a thing that does things by itself. Thank you. You answered that question even though I kind of said it wrong. I appreciate that. Now, you're going to read this paragraph aloud as many times as you can until I say stop. And then whenever I say stop, you're going to find the characters in this story. How do you find a character? You have person, an animal. Excellent. Okay. All right. Read this paragraph aloud as many times as you can until I say stop. And then we're going to find the characters. Read. Number 1 voice. Everyone's reading. Good, number 1 voices. Stop. Are there words that name a person, an animal, or a thing that does things by itself? Everybody?
Yes.
What are they? Jocelyn. Excellent. What's the character's name?
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn. What did Jocelyn do that makes her a character? She likes something, right? She likes here, so that makes her a character. She could see. Okay, is there anything else? She tried. So Jocelyn is the character of these paragraphs. Whenever I look for characters, I look for words that name a person, an animal, or a thing that does things by itself. How do I find the character? I look for words that tell
person, animal, and a thing that does something by itself.